What's up everybody? Alongside all the fantastic new character development we got in Overwatch's latest short story, we also got a sneak peek at what will eventually be a new map added in Overwatch 2. And yes, I did state that with absolute certainty because I am absolutely certain that that is the case. And in today's video, I'm going to explain why Suravasa is not only now confirmed to be an upcoming map, but also it's one we've had sitting right under our noses for longer than you may think. This is Master Ian Gamer. Real quick, I'd like to remind you to subscribe and build up that bell icon if you enjoyed this video, and consider hitting that join button down below to become a channel member and help out the channel. But now, let's break down Overwatch's new map. As a quick note first, this video is part 3 of my 4-part analysis series of Stone by Stone. In part 1, I analyzed Zenyatta and Symmetra's character development in the short story, and in part 2, I examined Sanjay's development and how it could be building him up as a future playable hero. In part 4, I plan to discuss Aurora and everything new we learned about the Omnics, so stay tuned for that video coming soon. I'll have all the other videos in this series linked in both the description and cards on screen, so be sure to check them out if you haven't already. But focusing now on this video, the thing which likely stuck out most to people regarding the new Suravasa map is that it's the main menu background for Symmetra's Restoration Challenge event. While it's nothing new for Overwatch Hero Challenges to feature a unique location or time of day for an existing map, this one is different in that it's a totally brand new map. This location exists nowhere else within the game, and was seemingly added specifically for Symmetra's Hero Challenge. And on top of that, the map itself is really well detailed, like to a crazy degree. Just looking around the map in the Hero Gallery reveals how much effort must have gone into it, and this is only further emphasized when we examine screenshots of the data mined map itself. Assuming that this map will disappear following the end of Symmetra's Hero Challenge, Blizzard put a lot of effort into something that'll only be around for a couple weeks. Unless, of course, it'll be coming back. And I can assure you with absolute certainty that it will be returning, not just because of the amount of detail it possesses, but because Blizzard themselves literally showed us it being a map in Overwatch 2. Come with me, dear viewer, back a year to BlizzCon 2019. This event is where Blizzard first officially revealed Overwatch 2, along with all the new content we know it'll be having. Among this content was a number of new map locations, 5 to be precise, but only 4 of them were actually named. These include Rio de Janeiro, Toronto, Monte Carlo, Gothenburg, and an unnamed map which appears to be set in India. The 4 named maps got the biggest spotlight during BlizzCon, with multiple screenshots and concept art for each of them. But this 5th unnamed map only got a small bit of attention. We see it briefly a few times in the trailer, and have this one additional concept piece of it, which was shown, but not talked about, during one of the BlizzCon panels. Now, at the time, the Overwatch community assumed this new map was Utopia, a city made entirely out of hard light, which we learned about in Symmetra's official bio. There is no official images of what this city canonically looks like, but we do know that it's located in India and is the base of operations for Vishkar. Admittedly, this city here doesn't look like it was made with hard light, but at the time it seemed to be the only logical answer. The Indian city shown for Overwatch 2 must be the only major Indian city in the lore we know of which is already tied to one of the heroes. But now, I think the truth is a bit more clear. This Overwatch 2 map, which was first shown over a year ago, is Suravasa. And that's exactly why Blizzard never told us its name back at BlizzCon. If they had told us, it wouldn't have made any sense. All the other named maps shown were previously established locations tied to important characters. But prior to Stone by Stone, Suravasa had never been mentioned. Telling us its name would have just confused everyone, and may have even partially spoiled the recent short story. So Blizzard opted to show it to us, but remained discreet discreet and let us all just make our own assumptions about it. Now, if you want even more evidence to suggest that these two locations are one and the same, then let's go ahead and delve a bit deeper. For one thing, their architecture is practically identical. While we don't get a great look outside from the Hero Challenge map, we do get an exterior shot of Saravasa within the short story itself. And as you'd imagine, it has a very Indian style of architecture, a style which is identical to the map shown at BlizzCon. On top of this, they're both located directly on a river, and feature incredibly similar looking docks and shorefronts. While the two don't appear to be perfectly identical, any minute differences can likely be attributed to the BlizzCon image being mere concept art, and thus likely isn't exactly what the map itself will look like. The most outstanding difference, though, is definitely the giant flying donut, which is focused on heavily in the Overwatch 2 trailer. This structure is absent entirely from the stone-by-stone image of Saravasa. However, we know that the events of Stone by Stone take place during the very early stages of Ishkar's redevelopment there, so it's possible that the giant donut, which we can assume is somehow linked to Vishkar, maybe just hasn't been deployed yet. But another bit of evidence, which is perhaps even stronger, is the fact that within Overwatch 2's trailer, we actually see Zenyatta on this specific map. At the time, we had no idea why Zen would be in what we assumed was Utopia, but following the release of Stone by Stone, it now makes perfect sense to see him located in Saravasa. And if we assume this little interaction is a canon continuation of what transpired in the short story, then apparently it also means Genji is going to show up here. So maybe we'll be seeing some Genji and Symmetra interactions here as well. Overall, at this point, I am thoroughly convinced that Saravasa, the unnamed Overwatch 2 map, and the Restoration Challenge menu map are all one and the same. I will say that I'm a bit curious to see if this exact location from the in-game menu ends up being a spawn room or something on the actual Overwatch 2 map, but I suppose we'll just have to wait and see. And for anyone who's saying that this map might actually be released prior to the launch of Overwatch 2, unfortunately, I think that's very unlikely. At this point, Blizzard is focused almost entirely on finishing the sequel, so any major content like maps and heroes are almost certainly going to be saved for it. Also, they literally showed it off as an example of Overwatch 2's new maps at BlizzCon, so I don't think they'd suddenly decide to push it forward. But who knows, I guess anything could happen. And another thing to consider though is what this could mean for Utopia and its chances of one day becoming a map as well. We know Overwatch 2 will introduce multiple new maps for every single game mode at launch, so could we possibly be seeing both Saravasa and Utopia being playable locations? Given that Utopia is built entirely out of hard light, we can probably expect it to look a bit more like the skyscrapers we see here on the left side of the river. So in terms of aesthetics, Saravasa and Utopia could certainly end up looking quite a bit different from each other. But that does it for part 3 of my 4-part Stone by Stone analysis series. Be sure to check out the other videos covering the short story, which again I'll have linked in the video description and cards on screen as they release. Be sure to like, subscribe, hit up that bell icon, and follow me on Twitter if you enjoyed this video and don't want to miss any of my future Overwatch content. Special thanks to my YouTube channel members who help make these videos possible, and if you'd like to join them to earn some cool rewards, then just hit that join button down below. Today's comment question: what do you think about Saravasa being the unnamed Indian map from BlizzCon? Let me know in the comments down below. Otherwise, this is Master Ian Gamer signing off, and until next time, have a great day.